Good afternoon, ladies and gents. It is Wednesday, the 14th of October, 2020. Yes, it's still 2020. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I'm going to wait for people to join in now. While I do that, I'm going to open the magical, wondrous astrology box. Yeah, and animate the chart. And here we are. Look at that annoying light in the background. I think I'll change that. Good afternoon. I did turn off that annoying light. Great to see you here. Appreciate you attending, and more the merrier and all that. It is the ubiquitous 3 p.m. coffee break update. Brought to you by Hobbes, the bistro with the mostest right here in Littleport. Miguel, ¿cómo está? Hello, Trish. Welcome aboard. This is a brief astrological preview. Yes, of course, there's lots going on. There's politics, there's sociology, there's, let's see. What part of 1,250,000 problems do we want to discuss today? Good afternoon. President accounted for it. This is not the military, Lou. We don't roll call here, all right? Today's the 14th, and there are some definitely niggly things happening. We got Sun opposed Mars. That will continue. Hi, David. Yep, check back later. It's fine. Got Venus going to conjoin the moon in Virgo. Pluto and Saturn just about where they've been for a while now, except they're both direct. They're both steaming forward. Okay, steaming forward. I'll change the lighting here. Oh, come on. Yeah. It's dark here. I mean, I cannot believe how low in the sky the sun is now. It's bizarre. Hi, Shana. Hi, Kathleen. Just since the solstice or the equinox, it's amazing how much darker the mornings are, how quickly it's happened, and how much lower on the eastern or southeastern horizon the sun is. I almost feel like it's almost the solstice in December. I mean, or late November. It's very bizarre. Something happening with the Chandler wobble in the Earth's axis we don't know about. I don't know. So here's the deal. Friday's a big day. This weekend is huge. I'm going to give you the highlights of these astro events. And the predominant astro event being, of course, the supermoon, new moon in Libra, at 23 degrees Libra. And let's pull that chart up real quick, hopefully. I just came in from an outside walk. New moon, new moon, new moon. It's not coming up, so I'm going to progress this chart. It makes it a lot easier. So a couple of days from now, Friday the 16th, we got the moon, we got the sun, we got Mars opposing it. We've got Uranus opposing Juno. We've got the new moon in Libra, super new moon, and Mars very close to the Earth, the moon very close to the Earth, and it's squared by Pluto and Saturn, and Jupiter too, all that. And the other exciting thing is that Eris is involved. Okay, Eris is, in Aries, and it's running close to that 27th, 28th degree. No, maybe not that far, but it's close to Black Moon Lilith. So we got Black Moon Lilith and Eris, both in Aries. Mars is going to cross over that point after it goes direct in November, early December. So that's going to be strong. But everything is strong. And the other ingredient is Mercury goes retrograde at 11 degrees of Scorpio, conjunct and very close to Juno, the relationship goddess, at the same time. So, as I have been discussing the last two sessions, what does this mean for you and me? I think it's the perfect storm, but it's also the perfect opportunity between now and November 2nd, November 3rd, when we get the election in the U.S., which is pivotal for everybody. Okay, I don't care who you are. To me, the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio means an unveiling of deeply hidden or previously unseen agendas, patterns that we have not seen, or we have been, have been obscured. So this is going to bring stuff to the surface, maybe around the whole pedophilia thing, but I kind of think not. I think it's more about issues of power. Issues around power. Hello, Elaine. Hello, Audrey. I think it has to do with more with the power stuff and with deep, dark secrets, which are Scorpio's primary modus operandi. Yeah, it's like, they'll pry everything and anything out of you. The native Scorpio and sun or ascendant or moon will be very perceptive, will be able to see your stuff like clear as a bell and point it out to you or reflect it back to you, but are very blind to their own shortcomings, usually. So we have a situation here where with Mercury, it's sort of in Scorpio, it's sort of like Sherlock Holmes. We see the causes, or we see the results or the end manifestations of things all around us right now. We're faced with a myriad of problems on every level in every category. And this is sort of the Mercury, and it says, okay, let's get to the bottom of things. Mercury and Scorpio, let's get to the bottom of things. Juno and Scorpio, let's get to the bottom of things if it has to do with relationships. But I think it has to do with the way the ego mind works, which is very deceptive. And so from that perspective, it's very important to recognize that the 2 weeks between this new moon, the lunation on Halloween of the full moon, and then leading into the election 4 days later is pivotal and critical. Almost as pivotal and critical as what happened on January 12th when Saturn and Pluto met at 22 degrees of Capricorn and sort of kicked off this whole year, which has felt like 5 years and continue to be feeling like 5 years, all in 1 year. The Libra new moon itself as a supermoon is going to again highlight, I think, relationship stuff, but relationship to what? Where's the balance point? Where do we find the capacity to listen to others without overreacting or even acting? And so that on its own is like really kind of a cool conjunction, a cool influence. But with Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter all squaring it, it sort of says, you're not going to get away with anything. You're not going to be able to gloss anything over and put a coat of paint on it and say, okay, it's good for now. It's good enough. Let's move on. Let's be nice to each other. I think you're going to see less nicey around this in the wake of it. It's going to be more about who's got the power, again, with the Mercury and Scorpio. That is the question. Who's got the power? And how are they using it? How are they using it? Oh, good. You got another one too, Spica. Audrey, I need to brush up on Spica. Is that a fixed star or is it an asteroid? You can pop in and tell me here. Hello, Charlotte, Emily, Rouge. How you doing? I'm just waving to everybody because I can't punch the little wave things on here. So Spica, we'll get a reading on what Spica's influence is at 23 degrees of Libra. So it's going to be conjunct. It's going to be conjunct this new moon at 23. And Uranus is going to be opposing Mercury station retrograde. Be prepared for anything. Expect the unexpected. How it plays out physically, emotionally, is totally, I should say, dependent on where your mindset is, where you are grounded. It is a fixed star. I thought so in the Virgo constellation. Okay. What is its characteristics? Now I'm talking to another astrologer. What is this archetype telling us? What is Spica? Good morning, Virginia. Good morning, Giacomina. It is, I know you're West Coast, Giacomini. It's West Coast, U.S. So Spica, it sounds like spiking the ball. there's very little balance in this. There's T-squares, there's oppositions, all over the place. There's very little that one would consider to be easy. The new moon itself, the supermoon new moon, is trined to the north node of the moon, and the north node, transiting north node, is basically what is happening right now. Okay, what is happening right now is the important thing, and north node at 22 Gemini is saying it's either or both and. You know, guys, make up your mind. It trines Ceres and it trines the North Node moon position, the sun and the moon position. To me, the North Node in Gemini can sound very uncommitted. You know, it can go either way. It's very mentally oriented, so it might be like, gee, it would be nice to have to fix our political system, or gee, it would be nice to have a utopian society. However, I find the timing of this interesting as the series Brave New World hit on Sky Atlantic. I think that's originally an HBO presentation, the sort of based on the Aldous Huxley novel Brave New World. And it's got a lot of more liberties taken with it and new wrinkles because it's sort of updated for now. But I think that presents the best and the worst of utopian ideology in it, and how it was badly constructed and badly managed, and also how, if it had been done differently, it could actually have worked quite well. And it also mirrors very strongly a book that was written by Taya Alexander, and I don't know if you can find this because it's been out of print for a long time, but I highly, highly recommend it, called 2150 AD. That's just the title of the book, 2150 A period D period. If you can find a copy, grab it, read it. It reads a little bit like a cheap sci-fi novel, but the concepts in it are amazing. So there's my book recommendation. And it does feel as if whoever wrote the script for this version of Brave New World was reading it at some point. Good morning, Zach. Good morning, Joël. So astrology, again, I have to remind everybody watching astrology is influence, and it's sort of like the macrocosm, microcosm thing. We are God, or God becoming conscious, and we are also that which is in partnership with, friendship with that, but we are not that. It's kind of a confusing thing. And so in this dance with astrology, it is another aspect of all that is one. It is both influencing us, and we are kind of writing the script for it at the same time, if you can kind of like get your head around that. So nothing is cast in stone. Fate is what happens karmically to us because we're unconscious. You know, we keep repeating the past, we keep having the same things looping around over and over again, and it seems like fate has done us in again, or fate has brought this person into our life again. So fate and destiny, I think, are two different things. We are not destined for a dystopian society unless we allow it. We are not destined for the stars to be determining our future right down to the smallest detail. If we are not careful, it will happen. It will just show up how things loop around and again when we're not aware of our participation in it. And when we are talking in the quantum way, that which we are observing, we are influencing, we are participating with, and it's the same with astrology. It's the same with spirit. It's the same with the universe, with nature. But there are certain immutable universal laws, and one of which is don't trash your home. It will come back to bite you, which is what we see happening all around us. Especially with so-called contagious infectious diseases. And this whole idea of contagion, I think what it's showing this time around is how the group mind, the collective consensus reality, is creating a immune response to toxicity that we have introduced into the environment, whether mental, emotional, physical, biological, electromagnetically, it doesn't matter. Anytime you alter one portion of the pattern or influence one portion of the pattern for good or ill, the whole construct, the whole matrix will reflect it back. The whole of all that is will then mirror our decisions and our choices back to us. So we are going through that kind of situation right now. And it's very disconcerting, it's frustrating, people are angry, people are depressed, people are going crazy all over the place. There's just general insanity from the top down, pretty much. I mean, I can't believe that the Prime Minister of the UK joked in Parliament this morning about, well, with the Christmas lockdown, we don't have, parents don't, and families don't have to put up with their in-laws at Christmas time. Who does that? Who says that kind of stuff? All right? That's just citing one example of kind of being part of a dysfunctional family. And Uncle Harry is obviously, out to lunch somewhere, but you don't give him the keys to the car and ask him to take you all on a picnic somewhere. But this is what we have done with our politicians and leaders. We've put basically our trust, or we have put certain parts of ourselves into positions of power, i.e. pedestals, set them up, and then expected them to take care of us. All right. Thank you for that, Jocko. Here's somebody chiming in. Learn your natural magical skills. Learn your natural magical skills. Stay with nature. Be very kind to yourself. Very important. I think November will be like kindness month, all right, because of what's going to be happening right at the kickoff of the month. In fact, I contributed a piece on compassion, and my piece was about self-compassion and kindness. That's on an event that's coming up called the Dance for Kindness, or the Dance of Kindness, I think. It's a worldwide presentation that's going to be November 8th, strangely enough, which is the anniversary date of the Harmonic Concordance from 2003. November 8th, 2003. Oh, here we go. We're going to get Spica here. What's this? It's been donned as the Venus-Mars type, a benevolent energy, but like yourself, I don't know enough about her yet. Okay, so Spica looks like a benevolent fixed star that's going to be conjunct the Sun and the Moon on Friday. So I think it lends a Venus-Mars thing. It's sort of like the marriage of opposites, or the marriage, the sacred marriage kind of thing. Good morning, Chris. That can be a guidepost to something in terms of balance or harmonization of opposites. What we do with all this is up to us, individually and collectively. My job as an astrologer is not to prophesy, but to say these are trends in the making, and we have to pay. Paying attention to the trends is no different than a Native American guide looking at the signs of what has gone before him in the trail in the forest, looking at broken limbs, looking at footprints, looking at disturbed areas. This is what astrology can do. It gives us those little clues. It gives us signposts. It gives us indications of maybe there's trouble on the road ahead. Maybe there's something we need to avoid or take a detour around, or something that would be really pleasant to stop and, a beautiful vista to take in and enjoy. So all of these things are happening at the same time. We've got the beautiful energy of Spica with the Sun and the Moon at 23 Libra. We've got the powerful and beautiful Venus and Virgo transit, which is very much, in a way, its hometown, being that even though Virgo is mentally ruled by Mercury, Virgo represents the sacred feminine, devotion, service, and so forth. So that's kind of positive. Uranus is retrograde, and though it's opposite of Mercury retrograde, it's going to be useful. I mean, there's going to be useful revelations coming out that will help us understand truth, help us perceive truth, and be able to apply or respond have actions arise from our beingness that are going to actually be constructive or actually be instructive. And it can be both ways. Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter just kind of keeps it all honest, especially Eris in the late degrees of Aries, opposing, close to Mars, retrograde, and opposing this lunation, this sun-moon. Here's the thing. Eris is damn sure we're going to make sure what truth is about. And that is the main job of Eris as an archetype. What is the truth? And Mars in Scorpio, what is the truth? What is the deepest part of it? What is behind all of this? It could be shocking what revelations arise in November and early, even all on into December. I kind of think of it as Arthur C. Clarke's title of one of his science fiction books, Childhood's End, or with that Eagles song, I think it was the Eagles, Don Henley, or one of those guys who wrote the End of the Innocents. This is a growing up call. This chart for Friday, this is like time to like put away the toys and the things that no longer work and grow up. You know, all the technology that we are fascinated with or enslaved to, it lives inside of us organically. So one of my experiments, reasons for leaving this platform, is to reorient my focus and my attention to those inner technologies rather than to the machine world. And so that's going to take a great deal of will on the part of each one of us to say, what do I align with? You know, what comes from the inside, and am I paying attention, listening to that? Where am I finding myself distracted or my energy dissipated or diffused? What really matters to me? What really matters? That is the bottom line, isn't it? What really matters? What's the most important thing to you? I'm not asking that rhetorically. I'm asking you to look at that for yourself. What is the most important thing? For me right now, it's something that's real. And whether it's a real emotion, whether it's something real in nature, whether it's something real that I eat and enjoy, self-care guarantees, self-care, especially with the awareness that there is only one thing, filled with umpteen gazillion infinite unique particles of that one thing, and you and I are one of those things, if you will, then when you finally master the art of being centered in your being, then you can find no way to cause any other being to be anything less than they are. You would never impose a personal need or want on anything or any person, the universe at large. There would be no need to. You're complete already. There's nothing you have to do. That doesn't mean that there won't be any being or doing or having. It just means it's not coming from that old place anymore. And we see the results of what happens when it does come from that place. And that isn't working anymore. And are we willing to allow that Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter and Uranus and Mars and all of these characters that live inside of us as much as they live out in space or in our legends and our myths, are all trying to point us toward the same thing, which is what Native American and indigenous peoples have been talking about a lot, trying to get our attention for the last 20, 25 years. shamanic traditions. It's like, we're not as smart as we think we are. There's that movie I, Robot with Will Smith, and one of my favorite funny lines from that is him trying to talk to one of the scientists. They're in charge of the robotics corporation and works for the robotics corporation. He kept saying, you're the dumbest smart person I've ever met. And what that means is that we can be filled with knowledge and logic and suppositions and ideologies and philosophies and still miss the point. We can still get ourselves into big trouble, very big, complicated trouble, and we won't realize we are in that situation until we go, oops. And so right now, I think everybody on the planet that is uncomfortably awakened from their sleep is going, oh, whoops. Maybe there's more that I don't see and I don't understand. And so what you're going to see with this Mercury in Scorpio retrograde is your own personal hidden luggage coming up, the society and the culture's hidden luggage, and it might create a lot of embarrassment, but it's going to probably create a lot of anger. Be prepared for that, because it's going to all peak when Mercury hits the final days of its shadow period, coming back into the point, the degree of where it was when it started its retrograde this Friday. It will be right at the time Mars goes direct. And you will see the expression, the acting out, the pushing out, the movement of all of this that's being set in motion this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay? So, I don't know if I have any other advice or suggestions other than keep breathing a lot, Epsom salt baths work, taking magnesium, mild exercise, sunlight if you can get it. It's a pretty rare commodity here right now. Nice warm drink helps. Companionship, friendship. Less time out of your body, more time in it. I'll just say that. That's it. Oh, thank you so much. I like that one, Christopher. Oh, that's a good one. When does Mercury direct? God, I think it's no. Very good question. Let's take a look at that. See how long this cycle is in terms of its actual non-shadow period. It goes all the way back into Libra, 25 degrees of Libra, and let's see, it goes direct on November 3rd. That's right, I should have known that because I've been saying it. It goes stationary direct on the day of the election at 25 Libra, which is almost the same degree of this sun, moon, new moon tomorrow, or day after tomorrow. So isn't that special, to quote the church lady? And then it'll be finished with its 2-week, roughly. Oh, that doesn't work. It'll be done with its 2-week shadow period. On the 17th of November, and Mars will be direct by then. Mars goes direct just a few days before Mercury gets back to that degree that it began its retrograde at, 11 degrees Scorpio. Isn't that interesting? So, yeah, so again, so the dates to watch for, I haven't even looked at Halloween. Full moon? Yeah, full moon on Samhain. That should be spooky. Let's have a quick look, shall we? I can talk more about it when we get closer. 8 degrees Scorpio. Again, an echo of the Mercury retrograde. 8 degrees Scorpio is where the new moon or the full moon is going to be. Sun in Scorpio, moon in Taurus. And that moon in Taurus is going to be what? Conjunct Uranus. You guessed it. Uranus at 8 degrees retrograde Taurus. So moon Uranus conjunct on Halloween. You better be wearing garlic. That's all I can say. You better be wearing garlic, or put garlic over your doorway and wear, wolfsbane and all that kind of stuff. Could be a very interesting time. Keep the boogies away, keep the ghosts away. Yeah, that's going to be strong. That's going to be darn interesting. Well, once again, isn't that special? Fun times ahead. Yes, they are. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. That's probably the watchwords for the next 6 to 8 weeks, all right? Never a dull moment. And the one thing I will leave you with is that try to, when things get tough, don't go shopping. Go into your sanctum sanctorum, relax, check in, be honest, absolutely emotionally honest at all times. You won't get away with hiding and glossing over, and not under this stuff, not with this stuff going on energetically. That begins with yours truly and everybody, yeah. So transparency will be the watchword, and that which resists transparency is not going to have a very fun time of it. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Shanna. Yeah, stay in the heart. Love you too, guys. That's it. All right. So over and out from here. For now, I'm going to be back next week. Actually, I'm doing a little, one of my little gigs with Lou Martin again, and then he'll post that on his wall, and I'll post it on mine. Probably wait to do another coffee break, like next Thursday, I think. Yeah, sounds good. But in the meantime, I wish you all the best over the weekend, whatever it is your plans to do. We have plans to go away, just kind of sit in a cabin by the beach for a few days, and ride it out, see what happens, all right? But much love to all of you. Blessings on your journey. If you need some personal guidance and support through these times, astrologically and spiritually, I'm available. Just go to Isaac at isaacgeorge.com. Just write me an email, or go to isaacgeorge.com and contact me through the contact page. All kinds of ways to proceed. In other words, it's all bespoke, as they say here in the UK, custom designed for whatever your situation is, whatever it is you need. There are also special pricing I'm running right now. It's just because it's that situation where everybody's a little strapped, everybody's needing help and support, so it's best to make it available at whatever, at a much lower investment. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's Mr. Rogers just popped up from Salem, Oregon. I knew you could say beautiful day. I knew it. Take care. I appreciate you all hanging out. And right now, the Go Lives are the only thing that people seem to be tuning into. Nobody much sees my posts anymore. Thank you, Facebook. Your algorithms really suck. I don't mind saying so. Take care. Adios for now. Bye.